We knew the Jets were going to get Aaron Rodgers. Woody Johnson did everything in his power to say, whatever it takes to get him, we're going to get him as far as the trade goes. But tell me a little bit about this, because it's not like this thing materialized overnight. So there was so much anticipation there. Tell me a little bit about what was going on behind the scenes as far as social media and everything to create this toxic culture, because since 1991, it's been Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now he's gone. So tell me a little bit about what went down there.
Yeah, this past game, this preseason game, and I know it's just a preseason game, when the Packers open their regular season at Lambeau Field, they play their first 2 on the road, but then they play at home. It will be the first time since you mentioned 1991 that Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers will not, one of those two will not be on their roster.
Yeah.
But the reason I think it's gotten so toxic is actually the reverse problem in New York is they haven't had a star quarterback since Joe Namath. We're talking about 50 plus years. And so they're so starved for this moment that they don't want to hear anything negative about Aaron Rodgers. They don't want to hear about the reality of the situation from a Green Bay Packers standpoint, that by the end, speaking of toxic, it had gotten a little toxic there. We're not that far removed, Jess, from 2021, draft night 2021. Adam Schefter goes on ESPN and drops an absolute bombshell that Aaron Rodgers is never going to play for the Green Bay Packers ever again. That is his position. Aaron Rodgers wanted guys fired. He wanted massive cultural changes. He wanted a massive amount of more input in what was going on in Green Bay. And the Packers said, no. Number one, we're not going to trade you. Number two, we're not going to give you all of this input. Now, they gave him some. They traded for Randall Cobb, his buddy, but that was kind of it. Like, they didn't do a lot of other things. Now, they did give him a little bit more control of the offense. I thought that made the offense worse. And then they gave him a little bit more in 2022. That definitely made the offense work. And he didn't buy in. The Packers were ready to see Aaron Rodgers go just as much as Aaron Rodgers was ready to leave this offseason. This was as amicable as a breakup can be between a superstar and his team that wasn't injury related. Like, the Colts moved on from Peyton Manning only because they were getting Andrew Luck, who was the most sure thing in the draft since Peyton Manning, at least since Peyton Manning, maybe since John Elway. So that was a different situation. The Packers had Jordan Love. Part of moving on from Aaron Rodgers was just moving on from Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. And he gets the most money ever in a contract extension in 2022, $150 million, $50 million a year. Flamed Diana Rossini, who reported that he wanted to be the highest paid player in the league. And then guess what? He signed a contract to be the highest paid player in the league. The numbers were a little different than what Diana was reporting, but that really aggravated me that he would go personally after a reporter who was reporting something accurately. And then he signed the contract. And then it's like, oh, well, sorry. That kind of stuff is really frustrating. And it's why a lot of Packer fans, not that, but that is one of the things that Packer fans were just ready to see him go, just ready to have a normal person play quarterback. And that's hopefully what Jordan Love is. That's what Jordan Love seems to be. He's just like, he's on a boat in, the Wisconsin Dells or like Door County in Wisconsin, partying with his teammates while Aaron Rodgers is at Taylor Swift. Like, that is sort of where this difference is. Packer fans, blue collar fan base, they're ready to see someone who's just a normal dude and is not going to go on podcasts talking about his ayahuasca use, talking, be their quarterback.